Got my green juice and we are ready to go. Hey friends, I'm Brynley. You can call me Bryn, Brynley, whatever works. This is my YouTube channel and today I'm going to be rapid fire answering questions and just letting you get to know me through the questions you asked on my Instagram. So I have this mighty long list of questions on my fitness Instagram, which is brynley.fitness now. I just changed the name actually. And while I'm just sipping my green juice and getting ready for the morning, I'm going to take a little intermittent break and answer some of these questions. Before I dive in and read these, I kind of want to give you guys like an introduction of me, I guess, and maybe that'll answer some of the questions, but I'm Brynley, I'm 23. I just got married this past year to my amazing husband, Lucas. This is Lucas. We met in Atlanta and got married very quickly after being friends for about a year, friend zoning each other to be exact. Story time coming of that soon. And we got married and we moved to LA recently. So we've been in LA for about 2 months now and it's just starting to feel like home and we're obsessed, we love it. But I do a lot of different stuff. I actually dropped out of college right when I moved here because it just was not serving me and it wasn't serving my future, and I knew that. I knew it from like year one, but I just stayed in college due to like the social and peer pressure from friends, family, everything to go to college and graduate. But when I got here, I just realized like, that's not for me. It's not serving me. I'm not enjoying it. I was doing online classes. I wasn't actually learning anything and my career started to take off without it. And when I graduated and got that degree and that paper, it wouldn't change anything. It would just force me to sacrifice more hours for the next year when I could be putting it into my business and all that. So yeah, I dropped out. And now, like I said, I do a lot. I'm an online trainer. I have a membership that I run with a lot of girls in there that do my workouts and try my recipes, and I post positive affirmations, mindset tools. It's kind of just like my healthy lifestyle put into a membership program for those of you that want to follow along. So that's my main career right now. I do online training, I do in-person training. I'm a spin instructor at a place called Sweat Cycle. It's a heated infrared spin studio. I do social media full-time now, working with brand deals, pumping out content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. I also help Lucas run 2 of his companies. One is He Would Love First, and I just help out with content and pictures for that. And then the second one is a secret. I can't tell the name yet because it's just starting, but I will say it's a very awesome, exciting product that we are very passionate about, and we've been in the lab here in LA a lot working on it, so that'll be out soon. But anyways, that's just me. I'm a busy girl. I love life. I'm really passionate about health, fitness, becoming the best version of yourself, becoming the healthiest and happiest that you can, just living a life that is like truly alive. My heartbeat is to see people wake up and live lives that have meaning and purpose and passion and that they're excited to wake up for. So that's everything that I do comes from that heartbeat. Enough blabber, let's get into these questions, guys. I mean, I don't even know where to start. I'm just gonna scroll through some, and whichever ones I don't answer, whenever I do this again, I'll try to include those that I haven't answered. How do you stay motivated is the first one. That is a good question. I am not motivated all the time. A lot of times I wake up and I'm very unmotivated. What I've learned to do is to use discipline when motivation runs out. And discipline is just saying like, I woke up today and I don't feel motivated, but because of the goals I have set for myself, I'm gonna keep going and doing those little actions every day because I know what I want and I know what I have to do to get there. And it sucks sometimes. Like sometimes you really don't wanna wake up and read your emails or go to the gym or cook that healthy breakfast, but because you've set up your goals and you're serious about them and you're passionate about them and you know the reward is much greater than that feeling in the moment, you're gonna keep going. So rely on discipline, not motivation. How often do you work out and rest? It's different every week for me. Sometimes I would say on average I have 2 rest days a week and the rest are working out days. But my rest days, like I never have a day where I just like sit. Like I hate to do that. I think our bodies were made to move and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can, like I said, be an easy walk outside, outdoors, a hike with a friend, going swimming, going to the beach and just like playing beach volleyball or something. Like those are considered rest days to me too, because I think our bodies are meant to be in movement and it feels good to move and it gives you energy to move. And then I would say my workout days are more of the days that I'm doing high intensity, like specific workouts, working out with weights, working out with classes, all of that. Have you had any plastic surgery? I have not. What's your own relationship with yourself / your body like, body image wise and all of that? That's a great question. Growing up, it wasn't always the best. I remember like in middle school and high school, just constantly hearing like my sphere, some of my mentors, even like some of my friends, their moms even, talking negatively about themselves and about their body all the time. And it kind of like, just being that young, it made me think like, well, do I need to look at my body the same way and like pick it apart like that? And I remember just being kind of confused because I was like, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with me, but like everybody's saying that and I don't see anything wrong with them. So what is it? And that's really, really heartbreaking and sad looking back on that now, because I was so young and impressionable. And that's like my heartbeat now, is to change the game for girls growing up that way. I want to encourage women and people just in general to speak so positively about themselves. And if they don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. Like if you're ever around me and you're a friend and you're like bagging on yourself or talking bad about yourself, I'll literally say like, girl, stop. Like, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and please don't say those things about yourself. Like, say something good about yourself right now. And I think like growing up, I was just confused, and I definitely had years when I wasn't like the happiest with my body and my appearance, but it was never anything extreme. And I think I just kind of worked that out over time, and learning things like positive affirmations and the way you speak to yourself on the inside really reflects what happens on the outside and all of that. Right now, I have such an incredible relationship with myself and my body, and there's definitely some days where I feel bloated and I don't feel like the absolute most beautiful. But I think maturity and just like growing up, you realize that we're human and we're never gonna be this ideal picture. Like, that just doesn't happen. Our bodies were never meant to be an image or a picture or scrutinized or anything like that. They're literally just a body that does stuff and lets you live. And if you can view yourself as just like this incredible being that like does stuff and isn't just something that's meant to be looked at or stared at and judged, then I think you can form such a better relationship with yourself. Fitness wise, I think in the past, I definitely was motivated to work out by wanting to change my body or wanting to look a certain way, which isn't always bad. But if you want to have a better relationship with your body with fitness, my thing is I work out to feel a certain way, not to look a certain way. And like the looks follow naturally when you're working out consistently and eating good. But if you can go into your workout knowing like, I'm gonna feel so much better after this workout, I'm gonna feel energized, I'm gonna feel powerful, I'm gonna feel good, I'm gonna feel like I'm treating my body right, instead of going into it saying like, oh, well, hopefully I'll look this way after, then you can form such a better relationship with exercise and with your body. How do you find time for God with a busy schedule? Well, if you don't know, I do have a faith. I'm a Christian and I believe in God. And for me, it's not really finding time. Like, I guess in some areas it is, like I find time in the morning to wake up and read my devotional because that just sets my day up so well. And I just make that time. It's literally 5 minutes. But for me, it's more of not like finding time for God. It's just like staying with God throughout my whole day. So like being with God nonstop, like praying without ceasing, is literally just like living life knowing that like God is with you all the time. Like God is within you, God is around you, God is just here. And like when I go on walks or something, if I'm alone or if I'm with someone, just like constantly being in prayer and in thought, even if it's just in my head and I'm not saying anything, of like, wow, the sky and the trees, they look so beautiful, God. Like, thank you for this creation. Like, thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for this. And just like being in constant gratitude with him. And then if I'm like running errands, just putting on a nice worship song. Like, it's not really like finding God in time blocks. It's just like bringing him with you throughout the day. What do you eat in a day? Every day is different, obviously, but I'd give you like the most average day for me. Usually start with pre-workout and a Verb bar for my pre-workout snack and routine. Breakfast is either a big protein smoothie / acai bowl, or it's protein oatmeal. And then lunch is usually a concoction of like what I have in the fridge. So I usually meal prep different sides, like my chicken, sweet potatoes, whatever it is. And I throw together like a big salad, nourish bowl kind of, pour over some Trader Joe's dressing, and so good. Dinner is always different. If we're very busy and we are eating out, I love to go to Earth Cafe and get like a turkey burger or a grilled chicken salad. Just like a healthy option. I always make sure there's like a protein, a fat, and a carb in my meals to keep it balanced. If we're eating at home, maybe like a chicken stir fry with some veggies, sweet potatoes. We also like to make homemade pizza a lot on like an Ezekiel crust and some vegan cheese and some like chicken and veggies and red sauce. So I do a lot of different stuff, but all my recipes, like I said, are on my membership, most of them, and then some of them are also on my Instagram. Oh, and dessert, I have dessert every single night. Most of the time it's a fruit bowl, which is like my thing right now. It's frozen fruit, so like frozen berries or frozen bits of mango, and then almond milk and vanilla protein powder and almond butter, cacao nibs, and mix that on up, and it becomes like this like frozen fruity mush thing that looks gross, but it's so good. And then I'll sprinkle some granola and honey on top. That's my favorite. I also like vegan cookie dough, that's in my membership. And I also like dark chocolate dipped in almond butter. Do you ever bloat? You never look bloated. Girl, yes, I do. I don't want to say everyone does because that's a big claim, but a lot of girls struggle with bloating, and I am one of them. I have a very sensitive stomach, a very sensitive GI tract. I'll talk more about my health journey on another video, but I have bad digestive problems. I have gone through so many parasites, and when I was living in different countries, my GI tract and my gut and everything just got very, very messed up and very unhealthy. And so now I'm struggling with bloating constantly, but I found ways to help that. And I try to stay real on social media and post like my real life as much as possible. But I like my page to be a positive, uplifting, encouraging place. And it's not really my brand to be posting selfies every time I get bloated. And that's for some people, that's cool. But like for me, I just see it as like, that's a normal thing. And like, maybe I'll share it every once in a while if I'm feeling bloated, but I'm not going to go above and beyond to show those things. And when I do, I'm honestly just not in a good mood. I'm kind of sluggish and I just do my own thing. But I do bloat, and the things that help me with bloating, probiotic, I swear by my probiotic, it changes my life. If I ever like forget to order it and I don't have it for a couple days in between, my stomach goes back to having those bad problems. And I know it's because I am missing my probiotic. My probiotic is from Just Thrive. I'll put it on the screen, and the discount link is in the description if you guys want to try those out. The other thing is just exercising regularly, drinking a lot of water, healthy meals, finding the foods that you're intolerant to or that you're sensitive to, and just not eating those. Like for me, Brussels sprouts, healthy, super healthy. Cannot eat them. My stomach will become a watermelon. Like they bloat me so bad. So it's just finding what works for you, really. Best way to lose weight. The textbook answer, as most of you guys have probably heard, is to be in a calorie deficit. That is the way to lose weight. Calorie deficit just means that your energy expenditure is higher than the energy that you're consuming by food. So to do that, you want to find your RMR, then whatever added energy you're burning throughout the day, and then be in a slight deficit with what you're consuming to create that fat loss. Now that's the textbook answer that we have to say as trainers, and it is true, but it's not always so black and white for every person. There are so many different exceptions. Every body is different. Every person is different. The main things I would say if you're trying to lose weight is just be active all the time. Just be active. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be going on walks, hitting your 10K steps, trying out different workout classes. Just always like be an active person. It'll give you energy, and it's just like we were meant to be active. The other thing, if you don't want to focus on calories or macros or count or track those things, you definitely don't have to lose weight. Just focus on fueling your body with whole foods, unprocessed foods, foods that literally come from the earth, that make you feel good to eat, that are natural, vibrant, and that give you good energy throughout the day. Tips for gaining weight. Cool, love it. Gaining weight is the same, like I said, for losing weight, to be in a calorie surplus, to be lifting heavier weights, progressive overload, textbook answer. But like I said, everybody is different, and you really got to take it case by case and body by body. But I would say the main things are, to gain weight, you do have to eat more. You have to make sure you're eating more protein to build those muscles. And yeah. Do you get cravings for eating certain foods that are not healthy? Yes and no. So I like to take all of the former foods that I used to eat that don't really serve my body well. Like, what's an example? Like Toll House cookie dough. I like to take something like that I really love and enjoy and crave, and make a healthy version of it that tastes just as good, if not better, and has whole natural ingredients, so that I can still satisfy that craving, but not with the sugars and all the ingredients that aren't good for my body. So if I can find substitutions like that, then I don't really have cravings for that specific Toll House brand, because I have something just like it that actually nourishes me while I'm eating it. When did you start your business? I started Power Fitness, my membership, my activewear, all of that within the last year. So the membership came about 2-3 months ago, the activewear a couple months before that. And it's all very brand new, and I'm learning and growing, and I appreciate everybody that's starting this with me. You guys are like the first people involved in my business, so it's really cool. I have a lot to learn and a lot to grow, but it is going amazing, and I'm so thankful for it. Have you ever lost your period from working out too hard or cutting? No, I have never lost my period. If this is you asking this question, or if you're struggling with that, it is a very serious thing, and I really would recommend more than anything to just go to a doctor, get an appointment and talk to them about it, what you can do, because it can really mess with your health and your reproductive health, and it's not something to mess around with. You definitely can gain your period back, and if you get set up with a health professional, they can really teach you a healthy way to do that and just make sure everything's good in your body. Do you drink alcohol? Yes, I love spicy and skinny margaritas. That's my favorite thing ever. I think it's not so much alcohol for me, it's like all the sugar that comes with alcohol. So like if you order like a frozen margarita, they're gonna just dump syrup in there, and that's what makes me feel terrible. It's not really so much the alcohol, because I only have like 1 or 2 drinks if I do drink, and if I'm just drinking water throughout the night, that doesn't really affect me. I never really wake up feeling like hungover or sick. It's the stuff that's going in there with it. So as long as I'll have like a healthy version of a margarita, then I like drinking alcohol, yes. All this talking is making me thirsty. How do you keep such a flat stomach and build that muscle? First and foremost, I want to say like body types have so much to do with genetics. So my dad has a very like athletic build. I know that my genetics come from like his side of the family a lot. So I've always pretty much been able to put on muscle well and to appear athletic looking and built. And then for the flat stomach, I mean, yeah, that comes from genetics as well, but I think it's mainly more the foods that I'm eating. And they say like abs are built in the kitchen, and like abs are built, like the muscles are built by the core exercises, but they are shown depending on if you have belly fat covering them. And if you do have belly fat covering them, they're not going to show as easily. So you just got to drop that body fat percentage, and you can do that by being in a calorie deficit, eating those whole natural foods, hydrating, all of that stuff. How do you deal with period hunger and cravings? I do get very hungry when I'm on my period, and I don't really deal with it any other way than just like honoring those cravings. So like I probably eat 2 to 3 times more on my period than I do any other week, and that's okay. Like that's normal. And I think the biggest takeaway from just that piece of advice is just you want to be in tune with your body. And if your body is giving you a cue or giving you a craving, it's doing it intentionally. And if you're having a craving or a cue from your body, it might be because you're deficient in something, or you're not getting enough of a certain nutrient. So therefore your body's signaling like, I need something. And depending on what your past eating habits are and stuff, it might say, I need this sugar, or I need this bread or something, but really you're just deficient in something else. So I would really recommend getting a test done at a doctor to see like what your levels are, if you're deficient in iron or calcium or something that can affect those cravings as well. But on my period, I do give in to all my cravings. I love dark chocolate. I think it's so satisfying and honestly filling. Just a couple squares and I'm like, whew, okay, I'm good. And then just staying nourished throughout the day, drinking a load of water and making sure my meals are balanced with a healthy fat, carb, and protein. Tips for YouTubers that are smaller but want to start so badly. I love this. Just start. Like, if you go back and look at my first videos, they are so bad. Like, I had no idea how to edit. I just didn't know what to do. I was recording on my phone, like, and I just started putting stuff out there. And I don't see myself as big at all. Like, I'm still small and growing, but it's a matter of just like not being afraid to put out something that's imperfect, because a video is never going to be perfect. Like, it's a real life video. There's always gonna be like little things that can be better, but it's a matter of not letting that hold you back from just posting, because you gotta get yourself out there, you gotta get content going, and you'll find your way once you're out there. You'll find the algorithm, you'll find the videos that work for you, but I would say just start. Like, don't be afraid, just start and go full force on it. Do you track calories and macros? No, currently I do not track calories or macros. I have in the past, and I enjoyed it for a little bit because I learned a lot about food, and I learned a lot about how to fuel my body properly, and when I feel most energized, when I don't feel energized, and all of that. And I really am glad that I like gained that knowledge from tracking. But then after a while, one, just got really annoying to have to log everything into my phone, and 2, it began to feel like food was this like kind of almost restrictive like science experiment. And I didn't want that. Like, I want food to be like this beautiful experience, and I just wanted like my meals to be something that I enjoyed cooking and I enjoyed eating and didn't have to think much about it. And so that's why I stopped tracking and haven't noticed a difference. If you have very specific goals and you're so serious about them and you're willing to do whatever it takes, tracking can be a great option. But if you're not like that, like specific and strict and everything, then I think it's worth it to not take the fun out of your food and your meals and just kind of relax a little bit and just eat when you're hungry and stop when you're satisfied and call it a day. What is a good smoothie or green drink? I love that. I'm drinking a green drink right now and it's Bloom Nutrition. Their greens is so good. In fact, I need another sip of this. It's packed with so many nutrients. It leaves you feeling so energized and glowing and healthy, and it's honestly the best tasting greens I've ever tried. And I've tried a lot of greens and some of them taste like butt, but this one tastes so good. The discount link is in the description if you want to try them out. And for a smoothie, I love a good banana, spinach, mango, pineapple, almond milk, vanilla gainful protein powder, link in description, and almond butter and ice. And all those are frozen, by the way. Blend them up and very, very good. And then I'll add like some cacao nibs on top for a little crunch. What did you and Lucas study in college? Love you both. First, love you too, girl. Like I said, I dropped out. I was studying business, but wasn't my thing. Lucas studied exercise science, I believe. Yeah, and he did graduate. Your pre-workout recommendations. Currently, I take Gainful pre-workout because of the ingredients. They're clean. They're not filled with a ton of artificial stuff that's actually gonna make you bloat and hurt your stomach. And it is so good. It's such high energy and the flavor is amazing. Link is in the description. As always, I'll hook you guys up. And Verb energy bars, love these bars. I actually do both of them. When I train pretty high intensity and I need all the caffeine and all the energy. So a Verb bar has as much caffeine as a espresso, 90 calories, clean ingredients, so freaking good. Their flavors are amazing. If you guys follow on the Instagram, you know I'm not just saying this, I eat those nonstop. So the link is in the description for that one as well. Gainful for protein and pre-workout, and Verb for my energy bar. What's your favorite granola? The grain-free granola from Trader Joe's. It is so bomb, it's so good. How do you stay consistent with eating healthy? One is to limit eating out. I love a good date night out, but I also like cooking in. It's really fun. And if you can just get in the mindset, like cooking in is actually fun and I enjoy these meals, then it's a lot easier to do that. Meal prepping. So instead of just making like sauteed chicken for one meal, you'd cook the whole thing and then just put it in little Tupperwares, put it in your fridge. And then throughout the week, you can grab it whenever you need to like make a bowl or a meal or something. I do that with chicken, sweet potatoes, veggies, and then I'll just add like spinach in my sauce and it is fuego. Also finding recipes that you actually enjoy. Like healthy food is so delicious and so good. It doesn't have to be like plain grilled chicken, steamed broccoli and rice. Like no. And if you want recipes, I post a lot on my Instagram and also in my membership, I post so many more. So those are my favorite delicious recipes that are healthy. Supplements, what they do and what to take. Supplements are exactly as they sound. They're something that you supplement into your diet. I get this question a lot. You do not need supplements to live a healthy life. They're just something that you can add if you want to take your performance higher, your energy higher, just everything a little bit higher. But you definitely do not need them. I didn't do supplements for a few years into my fitness journey, and they do get pretty expensive, so they are an investment. But with that being said, if you do want to take it a little bit higher, I think they're totally worth it if you find the right ones. Obviously, vitamin C, an omega fatty acid, BCAAs, maca, beetroot, L-arginine. I have a full supplement video of everything. I can't think of everything off the top of my head, but on my channel, if you go back, there's a full supplement video of like everything that me and Lucas both take. Do you ever run? No. The answer to that question is no. I used to run a lot. I used to be like in a running kick when I was in college. I loved running. I think it was because I was very like stressed girl all the time, and running just got it all out for me. But I think I burnt myself out on it because I just hate it now. Like if someone told me like go downstairs and go on a run, I would literally look at them like, no. I do love other cardio. I love spin. Spin is like my thing right now. I love kickboxing. I love going on walks instead of runs. So yeah. What is the alkalizing product you put in your coffee? Ooh, good question. I'll put it on the screen. I have this every morning. It's another one of my go-to products. My boss from my spin studio actually created this brand called Beyond the Hot Room, and it's all clean, healthy ingredients that go into wellness products, and this is one of them. So it's like a vanilla creamer powder that alkalizes the coffee, which just neutralizes the acidity of it, so it makes it so you can absorb nutrients way better, stay energized for longer. Just makes your morning coffee healthier and tastes so much better. It's like creamy vanilla. Put it with almond milk in my frother and pour it over black coffee, and it is so bomb. The link is in the description for that one too. What is your go-to healthy and quick snack? Ooh, Bar number one, if it's like just a very small snack. And then if it's like I need a more hearty snack, I love a good like rice cake, almond butter, honey, and blueberries. Protein shakes, I have a ton of those recipes on the Instagram and the membership. Oh, this one isn't like the healthiest, but it's my absolute favorite. Fish sticks, like the frozen box fish sticks from Trader Joe's. I put them in the air fryer, game over. They are so good, and they're pretty good protein too. So that's one of my favorite little snacks. What protein powder is the best? Gainful, link in description. It's personalized protein powder with the best ingredients. It is so good. Book recommendations, girl, so many. This one is the one that I'm reading right now. The Power of Full Engagement. It is so freaking good. It's talking about energy expenditure and how we spend our energy really matters, and just like managing your energy, managing stress, rest, and just becoming like the highest version of yourself. And I freaking love that book, but there's so many. I'll put a little list on the screen because I can't think of them right now, but I'll put it right here. How to feel comfortable in the gym. That's a good question. If you're new to the gym or haven't been there before, just go in knowing that nobody cares really. Nobody's staring at you. Nobody's thinking like, who's this girl? Like, they're just doing their own thing. And if you can go in and just kind of like let that mindset come off of you, you'll be able to function so much easier in there and feel more comfortable. But I would say, don't be scared to like read the description on the machines. Like, I remember when I didn't know anything about the gym and I just like self-taught myself basically. I would go in there and like I would read the descriptions on the hamstring curl and see what I was supposed to do. And I would look at the picture and I would try it out and just find a weight that worked for me and go with it. If you have any type of friend or partner that would want to go with you, it is so much easier when you're new to go with a friend there and like to switch off doing reps and stuff. That makes it a lot better. Also, going in, you can watch my Instagram or other people's Instagram of certain exercises and write a plan down of what you're gonna do. So when you go in, you're not just like, okay, what next? It's like, okay, I know I'm gonna do a superset on this, and then I'm gonna go to the squat rack and do this, and you just know your stuff and you go in. Also, headphones in and just jam out. It'll put you in a good mood and make you feel confident. Your Chipotle order, good one. My Chipotle order is most often a salad bowl, so I'll do like lettuce on the bottom and then cauliflower rice, chicken, sometimes double chicken if I'm extra hungry that day, sauteed veggies, extra of those, salsa, corn, a little bit of guac on top, even though I have a slight intolerance to avocados. I love my guac and it just keeps me fuller longer because it's like a healthy fat. And then for my carb, I love the chips. Like, I know they're not the healthiest, but I love those chips. So I get chips on the side and just kind of like, I don't really eat the salad like a salad. I like eat it with scoops. So almost like nachos with the chips. Very good. How did you get into cycling and become an instructor? I just started going a lot. One of my friends, Erin, if you're watching this, I love you. She brought me to a class like years ago and I hated it. And I was like, this is the hardest thing ever. It was an infrared sauna plus a heated room plus spin, and it was terrible. It was so hot, but like terrible in the best way. And I said I would never come back because it killed me. And somehow she just kept bringing me back and I got like addicted to it. Like, I loved going there. It was the best endorphin rush. It felt so good. I felt so energized after. It was amazing. And after going for like 7 months, the manager actually asked me if I was open to becoming an instructor. And I was like, me? Like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. And I said yes, and they flew me out to LA for 3 months to do training, and I got certified here, and that's where I met my awesome boss Mimi at Sweat Cycle in Toluca Lake. I fell in love with it. I love being an instructor there so much. It's such an honor. Okay, we're gonna end with this one. Do you have any tips for de-stressing at the end of the day? I like that. Yes. tips for de-stressing. A outdoor walk is amazing, and not bringing your phone. And like a lot of times I like to go on walks with a podcast because I like to multitask and I like to get my walk in, but I also like to learn. So listening to that podcast, but I think just even a 10 or 15 minute walk at nighttime, like when the sun is setting outside, just like you out in nature, just feels so good and just like gets your mind clear and your thoughts right and gets you ready for bed. I think a hot bath is good with some lavender and some Epsom salt, some candles. It's always nice. Stretching like 10 minutes before bed. I tell a lot of my clients to stretch 10 minutes before bed. Relaxes your muscles and gets you like just calm and ready for bed. I love putting lavender essential oil on before bed. It feels so good. And then reading just like 10 to 15 minutes of a good book that leaves you feeling de-stressed and less anxious. It always feels so good. So yeah, I hope that answered most of you guys' questions. I feel like I answered so many and this is so long, but if you have more, I'll definitely be doing these more if you liked it. So whenever I do, just be following along on the Instagram and I'll put another thing up there letting you ask the questions and I'll get them answered. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I love like talking to the camera because I feel like I'm almost like talking to a room of you guys because I know you're gonna be watching it and I just feel like connected with y'all. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting my channel and my journey. And if you like this, make sure you subscribe, hit the like, hit the comment, do all the stuff. Let me know you watched it and I'll see you guys on the next video. Much love.